Hello and welcome to part 3 of our Honda Monkey build by Tamiya. And first of all, I hope you enjoyed the new intro that I had going at the beginning of this. So I'm just updating the channel a bit and shortening it up. And I thought the other intro was a bit too long and it needed updating. So that's the new one. I hope it's pleasing. Anyway, so this is where we were up to last time, with having these front forks all ready to go. They've just been clear coated, which is why I finished the last video where I did. Now that they're all clear coated and dry, we've got to attach them to the front fender with this piece here that goes on top, and these attachments here, and a couple of aluminium braces that go on the side. This is all part of what's step 10. Step 10. So, well, I may as well start putting this together. So if I have any problem, I'll let you know, but it's pretty simple really. It's just a matter of this going down onto the guard there, and as it says in the instruction, it snaps in there. I don't like that word snap. It does actually say snap, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. And hopefully nothing that will snap that shouldn't snap. Okay, well, I'll get on with this and be back in a second. Okay, so I've glued all that together. It all went on okay. Just got to be careful, make sure everything's straight. All right, so these will fit in there. There's two little pins that'll line up so they're in the right position, and then these pieces go over the outside, and that just keeps everything where they're supposed to be. But what you want to make sure is everything's straight. So what I've done is I've gone to the step ahead and I've pulled out the screw that's going to go through the wheel and through there, and I've just put that in there just to make sure that everything is the right distance all the way top to bottom and straight, and then I'm going to let that dry and it should be fine. The piece that clips in on top of the fender was not a problem at all. I think they just wrote that there to scare you. It was nothing, no pressure at all, so it went on easily. So that is now the completion of step 10. Okay, so I'll bring that over. I'll have a look. Okay, so this is all done now. And this is the part where we're up to in the last video where I took all the parts off. I've still got all the parts off. They're all here. All right, including the decal for the speedometer. Okay. And these are now have to be primed and painted up. That's all we got to do with those. So yeah, I'll go and do that, and then we'll work out the colors we need, but most of it's just going to be the same. Aluminium color and black. So yeah, and of course we'll put the clear coat on there as well. All right, I'll be back with a bit more progress shortly. Okay, so once again, waiting for paint to dry. All those parts that are going onto here before we can fit it, I've just finished painting and clear coating as well. Now, it's literally going to be 42 degrees Celsius here today, so paint will not take long to dry. So there's our tyre ready to go on the rim, our decal ready to go, the screw to go in from the top of the gooseneck down into the forks to hold it on. That I've showed you already, that's ready. So what I'll do now is, as I do, move on, skipping step 12, which, let me just move that aside. So that is what we're waiting on to dry. Then I'll cross that off as done. We'll put the decal on as well. Then we're going to go over to here, and it's just simply fitting it all to the bike. These little bits, these little guards and bits on here, they've also been painted and clear coated, so it's all drying as well. That'll all get done. So now while we're waiting, I'll go over and we'll do step 13 here, which is working on the handlebars. So we've got our brake and accelerator grips, hand grips to go on. There's a line running down there. It's probably a brake line. There's our length to cut, so we've got that sorted. We've got these, which will obviously be black, and some bits on there, X11, which is silver for the brake and clutch handle on the grips. A slight different two-coloured black, so one would be a flat black, and then we'd have a gloss black for the hand grips themselves. So I'm going to get all that part and get that all put together and sorted out, or ready to paint at least, and all the parts off the sprue. Down here we've got the headlight. Obviously there's that scary word snap again, which I'm sure like last time it'll just clip together no problem. But again, that needs to be painted. This will be chrome and this is a clear part, so quite simple to go. And then this is simply putting it all on, yeah, with a couple of lights on the side there as well. All right, so yeah, I'll start getting some more parts off, and hopefully when I come back, or certainly when I come back, we'll be looking at putting all this together. Yeah, getting all that sorted out. Okay, back again shortly. Okay, we're back and we've got all the parts ready to complete step 12, which is putting the front forks together. First thing we need to do is pop on the tyre. So it should go on fairly easily like it did with the front, with the rear wheel. Slide it across. And there it is. Sorry, I did that off camera, didn't I? Trust me, it went on perfectly. I'm just going to get a little brush and touch up the valve in there and do that, the black. Then we've got the brake. Well, we're going to check back the page. Hang on a second. Yeah, okay. So the disc brake's going to go on. Like, how's that going to go? That way. It's going to slip into there. Okay, well, I'll do that valve first. I'll just touch that up first. I'll be back in a second, then I'll pop that on. Okay, so there's the disc on. Black valve. It's all good. This here, the top of the forks, I did those two nuts on the top, which are supposed to be black, so I painted them. And then I've put the chrome piece on here, which is where the instrument cluster is going to go. There's what the back of it looks like there. So now I've got this decal to place on top of there. So I will just go grab some water and place the decal. And there's two little switches down there. I might do red or green on them. I'm not sure which. It doesn't show in the instructions what color, but it just might add a little bit of detail to it anyway. And once that decal on, that's step 11 done. And then we can finally put those front forks on the front of the bike. All right, I'll be back when that decal's on. Okay, so I pulled out that screw that was through there that I had keeping these aligned, and I just put it through the front wheel. So it's on, fits on well. Brake calipers sitting over there nicely. What I will do now is I'll just get my Posca chrome pen and just touch the bolt heads on those brakes just to make them look a little bit, yeah, just show a bit more detail on those because they look good. The next step is putting on that top section on the forks, which I can't do yet because I've just put the decal on. You can see it in there. And there was also another decal too for the ignition, for the key to go in. So don't forget that one there as well. So I'm going to give them a bit of time to dry before I start fiddling around and putting that on the top of there. But in the meantime, I can put these side covers, little covers on there. So I'll put them on. Oh, I forgot to mention also I've done the kickstand as well. Remember I said I was going to do that and put it aside because I didn't want to break it. Well, yeah, there it is there. So I will be putting that aside. All right, so at the moment, yeah, I'll put these two bits on the side here and touch up the chrome on those brake calipers. All right, back again a sec. All right, back with the front forks are on. So wouldn't believe what I did. I actually glued the upper console on to the forks before I actually put the forks on where their neck is, and realised that it won't go in then because of the pins that were in there. So I had to take this back off, which was okay, and then fit it while it was sitting on the gooseneck there, so that they're all in. We've also got the main screw down the centre, that's in there, as well as there's a little chrome cover for that to go on top. And it's in perfect. I'll tell you what, that front guard just barely misses that there, but it does miss, so that's all that matters. We've got all our bits on here done. There's a little wire bit that sticks out there, that's sort of to direct the brake lines when we put them on later. And I've put the say it again, I'll put the kickstand on because if you leave it loose it will fold up, or you can have it down and it's just going to let the thing stand. Also there with the gauges, you can see in the gauges there, I put a dab of gloss clear in there too, to give it a bit of a shine and a glass effect. It's come up quite nice, it looks good. Okay, so that's that done. That is step 12 done. Now we're moving on to step 13, which I've prepared earlier. There's all our parts there. They're painted, except for the parts that I need to do a different colour. So the hand grips themselves, I'm just going to do a flat black. Everything else is gloss black. The levers for the brake and clutch will be done in the silver. So I'll paint them. I'll brush paint all of those parts on. They'll come up fine. The headlight's ready for the chrome part to go on in the glass, and same with the what is that? That's a part of the top of the frame for the forks up there. So that's all painted up and done. And we've got the indicators to go on each side. They're all here. If I can bring them all over. There's our handlebars, headlight, and indicators. All right, that's bright, isn't it? Okay, good. All right, again, I will progress a bit further and get some of these put together and painted up. Okay, back again in a sec. Okay, so here we go with the handlebars completed. Very simple. I've done the red on there for the starter switch. Put the centerpiece on with the little decal. The little decal that goes on there. We've got the tubing going in from one end, and these just slip on, and they're quite a good firm fit, and the plastic's angled, so it can only go on one way, so you know that they're going to be straight, which is good. So they're all complete now. And also on the bike, we've got our lights on each side here. They went on fine, and now it's just a matter of popping the handlebars straight in there like this. There it is. I just got to glue those in, and that will be now it doesn't say fit the headlight in step 13, so we haven't, so I'll leave that until we turn the page, but that is now step 13 completed. All right, so there you go. Looking quite good, eh? All right, so let me just glue that handlebars on, and then we'll turn the page and see what step 14's got for us. Back in a sec. Okay, so with that done like that, we're up to step 14. And 14 is all the tubes, all the piping, brake lines, fuel lines, everything else. So we've got this section here where we've got to cut all these pieces off, and they're all numbered, and then the numbers go to where each one runs to on the bike. This is why we had to leave the headlight out, because we need to run some of the tubing behind the headlight, so that's probably what makes it easier. Amongst all this, we've got to do the footrests for the left and right. So that's quite simple. I'll take them off the sprue and get those done. The XF1 black for the outside I'll do what I did for the hand grips and use the flat black for that, because that looks really nice, like it did on the handlebars there. And we'll get all these pieces all cut to size, and then hopefully get all that spaghetti installed. After step 14, number 15 is going to be the good old exhaust system. Looking forward to that. All right, so yeah, I'll go cut all these pieces, cut all these different lengths, and yeah, we'll start putting them on. All right, back shortly. Okay, so I'm slowly feeding all these tubes through. I've done the brake lines. I've done just about everything on the front. The last one I did was the spark plug lead going under there. The rest are all gone around. A bit tricky getting, there's two up under the front forks there. One goes down to the brake cylinder. The other one goes over to the back here. A little bit fiddly, but you can get through with them okay. I use a pair of tweezers with the flat heads to hold them. That way you're not going to flatten them and kink them. So that's working okay. Got all these parts around here, and they fit quite well. Just a matter of putting a little pressure on the end and wiggling them, and they'll go onto their little spots where they're supposed to, so no problem at all. I've just got 3 left to go on the back here, a couple there and a couple that go across, join onto that back rear swing arm to the rear brake, and they're probably the easiest. Well, saying that, probably going to be the hardest, but they seem to be the easiest looking ones. So I'll go ahead with that, and then I can finally put the headlight on. Alright, so I'll finish this off and we'll be back in a sec when those little 3 tubes are on. Alright, so the last 3 it is, lines, which is the brake line here, went on to the little brake master cylinder. So they're all on, and I found that the lines were a little bit longer than they needed to be, but the curve in them seems okay, so I left it. They look fine, but you could make them a bit shorter. Also got the foot pegs on and painted them up. I've just touched them up with a flat black. They look good, and of course there's our headlight sitting in there, and as with the instructions saying it snaps in, it didn't snap in, it just slid in, and it's fine. There was no snapping sound, but it's in there properly. So alright, there we go. So it's coming on well. We're up to the exhaust in step 15 now. Let me move this aside and we'll have a quick look at what's required with that. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so the instructions here for 15 for our exhaust. Most of it is going to be flat black, with a couple of pieces here that are going to be gloss black. And of course the outside shroud, I guess you'd call it, is already chrome. And there's one of our screws, which I was curious, there's still a couple of those small screws left. I was wondering where they go. One will go in there to screw that on. Is that decals? Yes, so there's 2 decals to go on the exhaust there as well. And yeah, that's about it. So I guess I'll take all these parts off the sprue, get them all ready as usual, and we'll have a look at what we got. Most of this I'm thinking could be all put together and then painted as one thing. Just these 2 end bits here that'll have to be the gloss black. Alright, I'll be back with some parts. Okay, so here's all our exhaust glued together and painted. These 2 parts here were done in the gloss, semi-gloss black, or gloss black, and these were done in the flat black. So they look quite good. So now we just got to put these on the bike and get them set up. So let's get our bike over here, and actually we've got to put some of these pieces on first. So yeah, so this piece needs to go on there, that piece goes on the side of there. I'll do that. That one's already together, and then we've got our chrome cover here. Alright, let me get onto this. I'll be back in a sec and we'll have a look. Okay, so the bike is ready for the exhaust to go on. Now this part goes onto there and then into the bottom of the engine is where that pipe goes. So that's going to go pretty much just like that. Okay, so we're going to glue that like that. Then we've got this with our chrome bit which we screwed on, and that's looking really nice. That needs to connect onto the top of there and then runs down, I think, to that connection point. It looks like that's it there. I'm fairly sure that's the one there. So if we do a test fit, yeah, that's going to line up and that's going to go up to there. All right, excellent. That does look a bit, oh, I see, yes, okay, that's going to connect. All right, so we want to put this piece on first. So let me get that glued on, and we'll come back and I can put that on. Back in a sec. Okay, so I've just glued this pipe on to the muffler there, and then I've just glued this. I've screwed, the other screw was for down in there, that tiny little screw, so I've screwed that in first, made sure that was tight, and then this lined up with this exhaust where I've just touched the glue on that, and that's just going to hold that there for a few minutes to make sure it's gets a good grip, and then that will be it for the exhaust. I think I might be able to let that go now. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to leave that to dry way over there. Good, it stands nice on the handlebars like that. We can go over to our instructions because we've got a few things we can cross off now. Step 15, let me just get this in focus. Oh, that way. That's better. Alright, so all that is all put together. That was the exhaust system, done. 14 is done, that's all the hoses and the foot pegs. Cross that off. 16, step 16 is just what I did then. Popping the exhaust on. Now there were two, back on this, there were four decals actually. 1, 2, and 3, 4 on those pieces there. They were just the tiniest little, basically to make the screw bolts a different colour. So all I did was I went in there with one of my Posca silver pens and just touched it, and better, see that bit better than the decal. So that was it. No need for using those decals. Now we're up to number 17. So this is an important part because we do want to get a really nice finish on the fuel tank. So the fuel tank is basically painting the tank. So we've got to get the two halves together. On this particular tank, it looks like there's a stripe on it, but I'm just doing it the straight red. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. Although it does say there's masking stickers. I saw those with the decals. Use masking stickers to aid with the demarcation when painting. Okay. So they're saying paint as shown with pure white, TS26. Cut out and apply the masking sticker as shown. And that's these ones here. There's the masking stickers. Alright, so they go on the tank after we've done it white, because that's what that will be, is white. Mask the area not to be painted with the masking tape. With masking tape, paint as indicated colour. Remove masking stickers before paint has completely dried. Okay, so we know that. So I have got an option here of doing a red tank that will have a white stripe on it. Now, the original bike has the red tank and there's the white stripe. So that looks good. There'll also be a decal, silver decal, that's going to go across the line between the two colours. Sorry about that. There you go, you can see it there. See, there's a decal along there as well. So let me just take a look at these masks. First of all, I'll get the tanks off the sprue and we'll have a look at them, and then we'll see how these masks fit and whether or not we're going to do this. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So I've glued the tank together. There it is there. And I've sanded the seam line away. You can just see it there, but once I put the Mr. Surface of Grey over the top, that won't be seen at all. And I've decided to just go with the straight red. So we're going to go with the gloss red all over. I'm not going to do the white on there. The decal, we might still use the decal. We'll see about that. But I think I can just get a really nice shine on this if I do the clear coat after it's done. Yeah, that's it. So other than the petrol cap and other bits and pieces going on the tank, there's not too much more left to do. So we're going to come back in the next video and do the final 2 or 3 steps to the build. And obviously there'll still be a bit of painting to do. There's a bit more, a few more parts on there that need to be painted up, and then we've got all our mirrors to do. So yeah, but yeah, it's coming on well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in part 4, which will be the conclusion and the finish of our little Honda Monkey motorbike. All right, thanks all. Thanks for watching. As I said, don't forget to hit the like button. Your comments are welcome below. Don't forget to I'm always available on the live stream on the weekends. Have a look in the playlist there under live, and you'll see that they're all at the same time. It's on a Sunday morning in most places, or a Saturday night. So it'd be great if you can call in and say hello on the live stream. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye for now. Cheers.